guys, what is up? It's Mallory, aka Trendy from Trendy Vintage Classic, and I just wanted to hop on to talk about whatnot. I know I haven't made any YouTube videos recently. Along with a lot of other resellers, I have been focusing a lot of my time on whatnot. I've been doing research, taking a few weeks to kind of watch other people's shows and collect some information to give you guys the best tips and tricks that I have noticed with whatnot. So I am a little congested. I've been sick as well, but I am getting better. Thank you. And I am on the floor, yes, because this morning I have piles and piles of stuff to ship out from my first live auction show on What Night last night. I sold over 40 items. So my first tip for you guys is to apply, obviously. You can't sell unless you apply, and when you do apply, if you want to get approved, you're going to want to show a picture of a lot of inventory, and you're also going to want to show a social media site where you have a decent amount of followers, because this is a social media selling platform, kind of what Poshmark wanted it to be, but that didn't really happen. So this is the fastest growing online selling platform ever, and it's just amazing, guys. So as a buyer, I'll start off with that. As a buyer, I went on and realized that if you tune into some of the smaller shows, and what I mean by that is it'll tell you how many people are in the chat at the moment, and if you go to some of the smaller shows, you have a better chance at scoring some items for really good prices. If you are going on to buy items to resell, there are lots of sellers on there who buy Macy's palettes and have a lot of brand new attack stuff, which does include free people. And depending on if they're just starting out, they're more likely to sell the items super cheap. And so just think about your costs with the shipping. If you stay put in one show, you get discounted shipping after your first item, or if you win a giveaway. So my tips for a buyer is to stay put in one show, kind of look at their store. You can look ahead of time in their store and see what they have, and shop there. That way you get the cheapest shipping. I'm all about free shipping. I never pay for shipping, but I will say that Whatnot is really appropriately priced for shipping, especially if you're buying lighter items. And then with each item you buy, you get discounted shipping from a specific store. So yeah, and with the giveaways, it's easier to win if you're in a smaller show. And who doesn't want to support, the smaller shows starting up? I'm one of them. I'm a smaller show starting up. So here are my tips for a seller. So take a good few days to a week to kind of build your followers and make some friends. So I definitely put off my first show for 2 weeks, and I didn't need to do that. I didn't need 2 weeks, maybe a few days you guys need, and just spend some time, participate in other people's shows, show them love, give hearts, make comments, help them out. A lot of people are new and starting out, and they may not be able to think of a word, for example, and you just type in the chat, oh, this is a wrap skirt or something like that, or just hype it up. Like, this is a super cute item. I wish it was my size. Just help out. Be a moderator if someone needs you to be a moderator. And really, there's no pressure. You just get a little yellow video game console next to you, and basically you just help out, hype it up, tell the people in the chat to follow, tell them to enter the giveaways, and it's no big deal. A lot of times if you can't commit to the whole show, people don't care. So that's a good way to get followers as well and interact. Start to ask people what their names are, call them by their names. People love when you remember their names. So you build up kind of that community feeling, and guys, it's a great, wonderful community. So supportive, so much love, and people love shopping. So the thing with Whatnot is you definitely want to have that following, that base before a live show. Don't just get approved and like get a show right away. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it definitely helped me that I had built up some friends and community and followers. I had about 200 followers before I did my first show. I would say 100 is enough. And so you want to definitely promote, do some really good marketing, whether it's a picture on the front. So when you start your first live show, there will be an image. And if you do a video preview, that's even better, if you give them kind of a sneak peek at what you're selling. And if you preload your store. So if you go in your store and you list, first of all, the first tip is start with the number 1, space, and then the item, number 2, space, then the item. So that's how you keep track of the numbers. I had to figure that out on my own. I thought that like Whatnot would automatically number them because I saw everyone else like with numbers. So I ordered these guys off of Amazon. They were super cheap, like $8 or $9. And I got 1 to 100 for now. And I'm thinking I'll just take them off, recycle them for each show instead of buying too many. So yeah, they were like $8. It definitely helps for you to be super organized. Like, let me get up here. If you can see, this is my rack. And so everything was in order on my rack, ready to just get pulled last night. So that definitely was a huge help for me. Yeah, so now I have, when you promote your show, you also want to promote some giveaways. People are really loving the giveaways right now. My hint is make sure something's super, super light. Like my first giveaway was a brand new 100% silk scarf from Talbot's, and it had a really pretty design, but it weighed like nothing. So you want to be in that 0 to 1 or 1 to 3 ounces so that you're really only paying about $1 for shipping because you pay as the seller for the giveaways. But you want to give good giveaways because some people come just for the giveaways, but then when they see your items and you tell them, hey, you won the giveaway, so now you get discounted shipping on whatever else, and that you don't have to do anything for that. Like Whatnot handles the shipping discounts, Whatnot handles the shipping labels. All you have to do is print it out and send it out. Now, I've been an eBay reseller for many years, so I understand the difference between USPS first class versus priority mail. Don't make the mistake of, especially if you're on Poshmark, you're used to not worrying about shipping and just throwing it in whatever box you want. You can't do that on Whatnot. It's kind of like eBay, where if you have something super light, like this item here that sold, you will need to throw it in your own like little poly mailer that it cannot say priority mail on it at all because it's first class. So pay attention to the labels. A few sellers that I watched that were used to selling on Poshmark definitely messed up there, and then the buyers get upset because they have to pay the difference, or you have to like cancel the order and charge them more, or you end up losing money. And you definitely want, when you're starting off, happy repeat customers. You want to build your customer base. So yeah, so I definitely started off with something catchy. I did $2 with Trendy, no, $2 Tuesdays with Trendy at 10. Yeah, that's a tongue twister, say it 5 times. $2 Tuesdays with Trendy at 10. And so I didn't auction everything off for $2 because, you know, you don't want to lose money, right? So a lot of the stuff that I did auction off, I paid $1 or under for. So yes, by the time they don't take a lot of fees. So it's like 8%, you know, Poshmark is 20% or something crazy. And then there's like a standard 30-cent processing fee. So yes, if I sell an item for $2, I end up profiting $1.40. If I paid $1 for the item, that's 40 cents. That's okay for my first show. Like I don't care. My goal was to build up the hype, have fun, and get people in there. People loved it. People love when you have great energy, and you're yourself and you're fun, and you know, whatever is you though, you know, that's me. I like to play music. I had my husband with me. He is like a little comedian, so that helped. People love to get to know your family. I my daughter was playing music, so I let them, see her. People, do love the social aspect. So bring that, like bring your personality, bring your family, let people get to know you, make sure you interact with the chat. They'll ask you questions, they'll ask you where you live. And you can tell people in the chat, like, hey, where do you guys live? Or, hey, follow each other, support each other. So definitely, don't just hop on someone's show and start promoting yourself, but interact a little bit. And then they'll say like, hey, like, if you have a live coming up, drop it in the chat. And that's what I was doing. I was hanging out, waiting for them to say that, dropping in the chat, and then people were like, okay, yeah, let's bookmark each other. And that's kind of how I grew my community. So so that's the tip. Stay organized. You definitely want them numbered, so when you're putting the item in, you need to weigh every single item. Like I said, I'm used to this from eBay, but Poshmark sellers are not used to that, because you can ship anything up to 5 pounds and put in any box you want. Literally, it could be flat rate. So you cannot use the flat rate boxes, and you have to weigh every single item. And you want it to be accurate, because the cheaper the shipping price is, people can click on shipping under the item to see what it is. They're more likely to buy it if it's a cheaper shipping price. So make sure it's accurate. When people get huge bundles, like I had a wonderful, like literally over 20 pieces here, and not everything was just $2. Some things were $20. I also threw in there a reseller mystery box in the middle of my show, because that way people had already seen the products I had and the brand names I had and the quality I had, so they trusted me a little bit. I wouldn't just start off like that. And I also gave an incentive. So I learned from watching one of the bigger resellers that this is kind of a great way to drive up your price, your sale price. So this was my incentive. It's a Karl Lagerfeld designer crossbody, new with tag, and a keychain, $118 retail. This could be resold, this could be used, this could be given as a gift. And so basically I offered this. I said it has to be at least a $25 purchase, and whoever bids the most on one specific item, not spends the night over the night, one specific item. That way you throw in some items that are more expensive, and you say like, this is your chance to win whatever it is you're auctioning off. And it doesn't have to be, again, I wouldn't do this again because it's a little heavier, so I am paying for that shipping. So you just get some incentive in there that way. And so anytime I had a bigger item, like for example, my reseller box. Now I'm brand new to Whatnot, and they didn't have to trust me because I didn't show everything in it. I told a couple brands that were in it. I said Eileen Fisher, brands that I know that are great resellers. I showed 2 items, and I said, and here's your chance, here's your chance to win this. And 2 people started bidding on it. I think it went up to like $31, which is fine for me because like I said, the items in there I purchased for $1 or under. So that was kind of my way of like, you get people hyped, you get the adrenaline. Whatnot is kind of like this gambling like vibe, because you're trying to win giveaways, you get addicted to being on. And so you want to use that to your advantage, like get people going, get them in the moment. You want to start the bids at 30 or 20 seconds, honestly, because 1 minute's too long, people get bored and they leave. 30 seconds is either someone wants it or they don't. You get that adrenaline going. So no long bids, unless you're opening up. For example, I'm doing an all mystery box, reseller mystery box, and tomorrow at 12, Thursday at 12 on Whatnot. And I'm going to have the boxes ready, and I'm going to open the boxes. I'm going to do 3 minutes on the clock. This is what I've watched other resellers do successfully. 3 minutes on the clock, and show each piece quickly, name, brand, size, what it is, condition. That way they know, and you start the bidding right when you start showing the first piece. So if somebody sees something right away, so I would make sure you start off with like some good brands. They're gonna start bidding, and I would start that at like $10 to $20. Some of the bigger shows start at $1, but it goes all the way up sometimes to $60, $80 depending on what's in it. So my goal right now is to kind of be at like $25 to $40 per box while I'm building my reputation up. So those are a couple of my hints. Yeah, if you can kind of get a theme like ladies night or old school night, and let people feel like they're partying. I don't know if you guys downloaded the house party app during COVID lockdown and people were just hopping in from different parties and it was virtual stuff. This is kind of the same idea but with shopping. And online shopping is huge right now, especially with inflation. People want things for a deal. People want things for cheap. So keep that in mind when you're sourcing. You need to keep your cost of goods low. You need to find the bins, the Goodwill outlet, Dollar Days, fill a bag, because unfortunately people do want things cheaper than on Whatnot. They want to buy it cheaper than what they could for on Poshmark or eBay. So be prepared for that and just know what to sell, know what to keep on your other platforms. For example, if I know for a fact I have a rare pattern Patagonia pullover fleece, I'm not going to start that at auction at $10 because God forbid there's not enough people in the chat and I lose it for that when I know I can get $80 for it. So it's all about using wisdom and, you know, being wise and keeping your cost of goods down and being yourself and having fun. People like to have fun. People want to have fun. One of the comments that I got a lot on my live was like, oh, we love your energy, your chemistry, like my husband and me doing it together. Bring a friend over, have a friend kind of like help you out, model it, make it fun. Just, you know, do your thing. And niche down. And what I mean by that is each show be specific. Like, people are looking for specific things. So say I have a women's plus size only show coming up and everyone interested in that, like, we don't want to waste people's time, right? Like, they're looking for what they want. So if you niche down and do women's plus size, men's tees, Anthro, Free People, Urban Outfitter night, like, so people know the brands they like and they will be more attracted to your show. Yeah, and so just have fun and just do it. Like, honestly, just do it, like Nike, because I put it off for too long. All right, so I'm talking for too much, and I have all these wonderful things to pack up. I'm so excited. Thank you if any of you did see my live, and if not, I will drop my link below. If you sign up using my link, you get $10 to shop. It's a win-win situation. I would definitely appreciate it because then I would get $10 to shop, and I would just support another small reselling business and put that back into my store, maybe use it as giveaways. So I would really appreciate it. Use my link below to sign up and start shopping, get to know it. And I'll also drop my, well, I don't know if I'm gonna drop my seller link. They don't want you to just, so, like, they want you to know the person if you send them a seller link, because they don't want just like, you know, they want reputable sellers. That's what I mean. So I would drop my regular Whatnot link for you to sign up as a shopper. So you can definitely gain some friends and have fun and get to know how it works before you apply to be a seller. And if you have any other tips, if you're on Whatnot, drop them below in the chat. Let me know. I'm still new too. Help each other out. And yeah, so if you have any shows coming up, drop it in the chat below. Let me know your username. I will definitely follow you. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in because I've been super inconsistent and I know it. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.